Well, our film is the Riff Raff, and the Riff Raff is this hazy suburban odyssey that takes place in Martinez, which is this inland town in the East Bay with a refinery at its heart. It's a really far off place. A lot of people don't know about this town, and this is where our comedy takes place. It's a post-high school college comedy. Jacob is our main character, who's a college dropout living a little too comfortably in his mom's house, and his struggle to leave home is the main storyline of the Riff Raff. And Carson, an old friend from high school who's a San Francisco native, comes to Martinez, and they sort of go on this coming of age journey throughout the movie. This is a Bay Area project first and foremost. The Bay Area is a perfect place for culture, music, and food, and film, and our project is unique in the way that we portray all of those things. The movie portrays this longing and desire to be connected to all of these things that make us love the Bay Area so much. And this is the story of what it's like to live outside of these vibrant cultures and to sort of be on your own planet, to be very secluded from everything. There's something beautiful and poetic about small towns that I'm very attracted to, and that's sort of why I wrote the script, because the Riff Raff is about the experience of being in a small town but not wanting to be there. Jacob is tested in many ways throughout the film. In the first act, he loses his socialite girlfriend. In the movie, he's spent going on this path of destruction, trying to fill this void that this girl left in him. And so him and Carson are sort of teaming up to fight these demons of monotony and longing and like separation from people. Carson finds Jacob's day-to-day very monotonous and begins to sell him on the idea of moving out of Martinez and moving to San Francisco. And so the whole film is sort of this back and forth between Carson and Jacob trying to mend their relationship but also leave this town and like expand themselves. And despite both of their shortcomings, Carson and Jacob are both two people who you would totally want to spend your entire summer with, and they don't even realize that yet. So it takes them the whole movie to learn that they are perfect for each other. And so the Riff Raff, most importantly, is about this friendship being rebuilt in this place that both characters feel very disconnected from. Well, by the time Carson steps foot in Martinez, the story advances very rapidly. There's a lot of characters in the Riff Raff, a lot of colorful small town characters that Carson and Jacob both have backstory with. And so we spend a lot of the movie learning about these experiences that they've had in the past and sort of how they affect the characters in the present day. So there's a large focus on relationships and community in this town. And that's one of the big parts about our project, is it's very centric on the town of Martinez, where I'm from, which is mainly why I wrote the script in the first place. Everyone is lost in their own illusions, especially Carson, who is the town's biggest opponent verbally, and despite that he still manages to find something he loves about Martinez. Even if it's not the town itself, he still manages to find people he loves, and memories and experiences and food, and like all of these things that are in the town that might not be the town itself. And sort of everyone leaves Martinez, but they take a piece of it with them at the end. This story is for anyone who has ever felt disconnected from their hometown, and for anyone who's ever felt lost, bored, hopeless. Like any high school student, any college student will find something relatable in this narrative. The Riff Raff shows a very particular journey with these characters, but it's definitely one that is relatable and one that people can relate to very well. Currently, the script gives this feeling that leaving Martinez is the only option, but that really isn't what the truth of the message of the movie, that severing ties is not the way to treat a relationship. Like, people might be separated geographically, but they can still come back and mend and rebuild these things. Carson and Jacob's friendship is a testament to this idea. Like, relationships can last over time and distance, and that is what the Riff Raff is about. And this film will get made regardless of whatever budget we have. I wrote this movie with hopes that people will grow to love the Martinez and love the Bay Area as much as I do. And the Riff Raff is a piece of me, and it's a story I know will connect with anyone. I want people to watch this and just want to call up old friends and call up people who they used to have strong relationships to but don't anymore, just because of distance or because of time or because of trivial things like school. So I hope you enjoy our movie.
The total maximum budget for the Riff Raff is $436,138. We intend to sign with the Screen Actors Guild in their modified low-budget agreement, and have determined this budget from the script itself. Our total above-the-line budget is close to $60,000, with the majority of those funds going to our large SAG cast, who are all being paid at a weekly or daily performer minimum. The largest chunk of our budget is of course production itself, which totals at around $171,000. Digital camera equipment, lighting equipment, and our shotmaker process trailer entail the most of the production portion, and it will be money well spent, as these will boost the Riff Raff from a small student film to a marketable feature. Because we are shooting on digital media, our post-production budget is much streamed down to a total of about $41,000. We will not need to process any film, and will be able to guarantee professional color correction and post-sound work with this total. The remaining $170,000 described in the budget will go to legal fees, marketing, and distribution, and will be where the Riff Raff really breaks into the real world. Because the film is set in the East Bay, and will be made by entirely Bay Area filmmakers with a current connection to various film schools in the area, we've been able to cut back greatly on the expense of filming, and may even be able to create a smaller budget if need be. The majority of the crew will be enlisted at a diminished pay rate through the contacts of the director and producers, and many of the locations of the film have already been procured through the director's personal history in Martinez. Finance this film with a mixture of private equity and grants, as well as an extensive online campaign through the crowdfunding websites Kickstarter.com and Indiegogo.com. We're hoping that because of the main focus of the film being the people of the Bay Area, and the fact that the majority of our crew will be made up of young filmmakers who grew up in the East Bay, we will be able to draw a great deal of financial support from businesses and organizations that promote the diversity and originality of small Bay Area towns such as Martinez and Walnut Creek. We will be creating an LLC for this production to protect the project, the filmmakers, and of course the investors' money. The LLC will be established with a standard 50-50 split between the managing partners, which will be made up of the producers of the Riff Raff and its silent investors. Each unit of the film will be sold at $17,000, and when the movie is sold for distribution, those units will be granted back to the investors with a preferred rate of return of 120%. This will not, of course, guarantee the investors their funds, but will establish protection for their generosity. Though no film is entirely without risk, our film, The Riff Raff, has a potential to return a great deal of value to our investors. The script can be telegraphed into a very low-budget film, so even if we do not raise the total of our max budget, we will be able to create enough content to complete the feature. All the locations are very easily accessible. The actors will be local SAG actors. The majority of the crew will be local students and filmmakers invested both financially and emotionally in the towns we are trying to represent. This film will be made no matter how much money we raise, but the more people who invest in the Riff Raff, the closer we will be to fully realizing this amazing script's potential.
When coming up with the schedule for this script, I wrote down every scene and location and grouped them together. 15 days have been allotted for production with 4 days off during the production, bringing the total amount of days to 19. A big problem during production was scheduling all of the night scenes, as a lot of them take place either outside or in a car. Scheduling all of the car scenes to coincide with the time of day and also the actors who will be in those scenes meant that a lot of those car scenes are filmed either after or right before scenes that surround them. A lot of the movie also takes place at night. A lot of the movie also takes place within the same few locations in Martinez, with a couple exceptions of some scenes in Walnut Creek and some scenes in San Francisco. Since there aren't as many characters, and most of the characters span over several scenes, it was easier to schedule based on location instead of basing it on which characters were in which scenes, which made it easier to schedule the locations and the shots in San Francisco and Walnut Creek. Only one of the actors is underage, the actor that plays Elliot. However, since he only ever appears in one location, it was very easy to plan our schedule so that Elliot only has 1 day of production. One of our primary locations is Jacob's car, which is scheduled throughout the production, which we will be able to get for free as we will be using the director's car. So having it on location every day of production was a problem that was easily overcome by using a car that we have complete access to. For this project, we will be using digital media. It's much cheaper, and it will also be much easier for the many scenes that we have in cars. It's also easier to carry throughout the different locations, and it will look much better when we're shooting at night, which many of the scenes are. We will be shooting the film on location in Martinez, California, and also in Walnut Creek and San Francisco. We will be getting a rig for the car scenes and driving around the city of Martinez for the shots, and we will also be using houses and specific locations in Martinez to film most of the film. Some of the issues that we will need to work out before this movie starts filming is getting all the locations we will need to film at cleared. Many of the places in the script are specific locations in Martinez that need to be cleared with the owners or with the city of Martinez before we can start filming. We also need to get clearance to shoot inside of a church, which might be difficult given the context of the film, and at a police station, which might not be as difficult given the context of the film. We plan on approaching most locations by saying we are doing a film about the city of Martinez and trying to get help throughout the community. One of the locations we are using is a Mexican restaurant called Cinco de Mayo that is used during the scene that Jacob and Carson meet up with Kari, Carson's girlfriend, for the first time during the film. The director has a connection with many of the places in Martinez, including Cinco de Mayo, and that will help us get clearance to film at many of those places. Our biggest scene is the one at this restaurant, so I have allotted an entire day to film at this location. The entire shoot will take place during the day, which is unusual for this production, as every other day has both night and day shoots. However, the location we want and having the restaurant backing our production and supporting us will be a great help getting this movie off the ground. One location that we had planned that we thought might be difficult getting cleared was the church. However, our director has a personal connection with one of the churches in the area, and we should be able to get that place without any problems. One location we have planned that is not a Martinez-specific location is the Pizza Palace. The Pizza Palace is not a real place, and is planned on being filmed at a local Round Table Pizza that might have difficulty getting cleared. We could offer to advertise Round Table in our film, or we could assure management that we will not have any Round Table paraphernalia in the film, depending on which option management is most comfortable with. The places outside of the city of Martinez, like the cafe and the bar in Walnut Creek, also have personal history with the crew involved in the production, and therefore will be fairly easy getting cleared. Because we are signing with the Screen Actors Guild, this opens up positions in our crew and in our schedule for recent graduates and people living in the area, which will give another incentive for the city of Martinez to help us with the production of this film.
Okay. The Riff Raff is an extremely marketable comedy. One of the aspects of this film that is most marketable is its clever spin on teenage drinking that is proven to sell in films like Superbad. Our target audience includes college students, high school students, Bay Area residents, and anyone with an interest in laughing. The plan for our film is that once the film is completed, we'll enter it into film festivals, and we're thinking about going into the main big four, which is Sundance, Tribeca, Cannes, and South by Southwest. We will ask our producer's rep to get people from certain companies to our film festival screenings who have worked on the films that are very reminiscent of the Riff Raff. This will include Sony Pictures and Columbia for their work on Superbad, people from Miramax because of their work on Clerks, and people from New Line Cinema because of their film Friday. Hopefully our film will get picked up by these companies and prepared for theatrical release. The marketing plan for our film before the festivals mainly relies a lot on social networking. We will create a website for our film, and that will be considered the home base of the film, where everyone can come to for all the information necessary. It'll have videos, it'll have updates, it'll have behind the scenes footage, it'll have little tidbits to get people interested in the film and bring them to the opening weekend. The other thing that we'll have are the normal Twitter, Facebook, etc. Everything that can spread the word of the film, which is normal, and then we'll just spam those all the time. Our target audience includes college students. We came up with the idea of the party box. This box will include customized movie t-shirts, which here says on the front, the Riff Raff, and on the back it says, "All Summer's Not Created Equal," which is the tagline of the film. It will also include beer pong balls that are customized for the film. They say the Riff Raff on them. And also, we have the Riff Raff shot glasses. Woo! All of these, which will be included inside the party box with a stack of posters for the film, so that all the partygoers can take this stuff home from the box. And in return, and the box is free for the college parties, and we'll send those out to universities and whatnot. But what they get, if they get a party box, what they have to do is take pictures with all the stuff that they're partying with and post them online, and then tag us in their pictures or whatever is necessary, so that it'll have a tag to our website, so that people can come to our website and connect, and they'll be like, what is this? What is this? Why do they have all this free swag? What movie is this? And then hopefully they'll reach our website and get some more information on the film. Another great part about this is that because they're posting these pictures on personal websites, the party won't only reach the people who are at the party, but also reach their friends from Facebook and whatnot. So the friends on Facebook will also be able to check out what the Riff Raff is. We budgeted in 75 of these boxes. Each box is about $9,500 worth of swag in it. And that is, it sounds expensive, but for marketing and getting the idea out there, and because we have the money, we decided that this was worth the market value. And the colleges that we'll send these out to are mostly pertaining to Los Angeles and the Bay Area, because those are the two target areas where we're looking at for now. Because the film is shot mostly in the Bay Area, we want to enlist the help of local companies, and we think that we can make, if it goes well, we think we can make a deal with AMC theaters or Century theaters, and hopefully make a promotional deal with Cinco de Mayo, the restaurant that's featured in 2 scenes of the film. Cinco de Mayo is the Mexican restaurant, and it's a franchise. There's some here and there's some in LA, and the promotion that we wanted to try to work out was with every $10 purchase at Cinco de Mayo per customer, they would receive a code word where if they went onto our movie website, they would receive 1 free ticket. With the receiving of the free ticket, it would be to the opening weekend of the film. And we were hoping that because it's only 1 free ticket, they would bring friends with them, or see the website of the film and think it was really cool, or if they were with friends and they could expose them to it too. And this is also good for the theaters because it'll bring more people to the theaters as well for the opening weekend. Okay, after the festival, we're assuming that our film gets picked up by a studio and prepared for theatrical release, we would like to work with the company in marketing and stick with the party box idea. And we think that the company will go for this as long as they're able to put their logo on any of the swag that goes in the box. So with the box of t-shirts, beer pong balls, shot glasses, and posters, will also be on all of that. It'll have stuff from the company that buys the film as well, and expose them more to the outside world. So hopefully that'll work as well. Oh, okay, the market that we're planning on going into hopefully will be USA, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. And the reason for those being just that the films that we talked about earlier, Superbad, Clerks, and Friday, they did really well in those markets as well. And so we are really basing what we plan to do for our film as off of what has been more successful for other films like this film as well.